We're going to do the holistic review for the week, the psychic meter reading about the holistic community. It is a little bit like harder energy. It is a little bit harder of like trying to find and figure it out, especially as far as like trying to get like a statement out or anything like that. But in reality, we're gonna do like darker tarot cards. We're gonna do the gold tarot, and we're also gonna do a black obsidian. So basically, what you need to know is this. Let me try to like boil it down. It's something about Reamer effect. Reamer effect actually comes in like on hard, like pulling out of somebody to a degree. But Reamer effect is for the best that I can actually talk about it. It's like the worst GI bug, and like it all like drains out of you, for lack of a better term, and you feel like you're left with nothing, and that is Reamer effect. So when actually something has been like left and like gone and like you've been ripped apart or anything in that matter, you have this emptiness. So when I see this, it is deceitful, Reamer effect. It means that they can sit well for a very long time. How does this relate to holistic? It means that old wounds and it keeps coming out, illusions are coming in and on through. That it was like appearances and society and gender. So keeping up with the Joneses, that they were actually sicker than what they were saying, and they couldn't understand. So when you look at the mineral deal, it is legit. It really is, for a lack of a better term. It is a victory to have that mineral deal, because you can't look at it to those who have made like bad choices in their life. It actually comes into where there's people around them that got affected from their choices, so they have bad health also. You don't want to say ill health, because that would lead to like a form of incarceration, but it has happened to the highest degree of none. So when you actually look and you sit with holistic community, and maybe you need massage, maybe you need sound therapy, maybe you need help with psychic work, or maybe Reiki, cradle psychotherapy, anything of that matter, or sitting in a moon ceremony. Maybe you're going to a witch doctor. It literally goes like there's something about getting it out proper, every which way and form. So when I look at this and I say, there's something about like stone cold apathy still. Maybe you need stone therapy. So when I see this and I see the Nine of Cups in reverse, it really isn't as happy as what they think. It's something about a beach. When you see this, it's like they just can't help but get it out. It looks like, oh my god, like, are you crazy doing this? And they're like, no, no. Especially those who do their own. So when they do their own, it literally means like these are the ones who might over insurance. They're only like a pay per visit, or they literally can get it out of them themselves. And it seems like an incomplete like task or anything. Like I couldn't get them to do talking therapy or anything like that. Well, I'll just write it down. How do they usually get it out? So when you see the Three of Cups in reverse, they're usually people who are loners. They're usually people who are living alone. They like to be like silent and quiet because they're probably listening and everything. It is a bit of trickery. They look like smug. They look nasty. They look stuck up, but they're really not. They're highly intuitive. They're highly instinctive in a calm way. Everyone thinks that being instinctive is really not like the best thing. So when I see this and I see this eight of uh, pentacles in reverse, it means there's like this type of like lack of skill. And I have to say, what do you mean there's this lack of skill? I mean, they've been practicing for like 20 years. How is there a lack of skill? But they know how to yell and scream at you and get it out of you. Like they love it, and some people love instigating it. So when I see this spirit card, it becomes a full stop. So when I look at it and I go, well, stop, that's pretty hard on camera, it literally goes to show that sometimes it's okay to be alone. Sometimes, too, people are doing certain things and it is a conflict of interest or anything that matter, and it does get out. What happens is there pent up energy? Is there more energy getting thrown at them? Is it like proper to actually do it and like keep hitting them with energy? That's why they're like, you need to go see a regular doctor, you got to go see a specialist. Then, if it qualifies, then you can go and do holistic care. I'd have to say, try. They like seeing, as someone who's a former nurse, they like seeing. I tried this activity. I tried this. I tried this. Now I'm finding that I need a medication. That's what a lot of these practitioners are preferring at this time. There's really nothing wrong with saying I need to take a Pepsid and an Allegra every day. That's all you need to know. So when I see this Two of Wands, it's like just sitting and watching out because they're trying to, like, as they say, revamp the holistic community. They're trying to do like a redo. They're trying to get on the same page that people can have insurances actually pay for these things. When I see this and you go, the Six of Cups goes, it's happened before. And you go, the Ten of Swords goes, you couldn't even believe it. The Daughter of Pentacles, it is an alleviation or relief. When you see Temperance, you go, holy cow, you can't even do. The balance comes in and you see it and you go, it's all done. It's all done. The Six of Pentacles says, the Seven of Swords, there's something about an equal give and take balance. The actual symbol of justice. The Seven of Swords is not this looking out approach, but it is toxic feminine energy, meaning yes, that it ran on through as soft and clear, not the full moon energy that we talked about, how it was going to come in hard and then feel soft, but you would not see the results of anything from that full moon manifestation until almost August. When I see this and I see this Eight of Swords, it's about healing, the type of slowing down that holistic community makes you do. They will literally make you slow down. So with that being said, it is recklessness when it comes to Reamer. When is it appropriate to do like a yelling and a screaming match or anything like a pulling apart and a picking apart of something? It really is when you actually have to sit and say, like, there's something about like sticking like a fork in it, or you hit like it right on the tip. There's like on the tip of your tongue, like you're like driving force, like the energy keeping you because you already know it's right there and you can't get it out. But sometimes some things are not meant to get out. All right, go Tara. What do we need to know? Oh, if I can get the deck out. This one doesn't want to get out. So when we do this, we go, what can we do? Again, the Empress card comes out in reverse. To shark. You can't even do. When you see this, you go the Wheel of Fortune in reverse to the like the look over the Overwatch to the partnership coming in to literally like a move on. There's something that the holistic community needs to let go of and move on, making partnerships. There's something about cold and flu season when it happens. When I see this, there is a lack of money. There's a lack of a little bit of securement right now. It seems like people are getting dinged for it, which is really like I keep hearing the word today, derogatory. It is highly derogatory. When I see this and I go, you can't even, do this. Like it has to do with a type of like legal contract. It's a type of law enforcement contract. In a sense that it's military, it's talking about medical marijuana and incorporating. But like we said, it's not federally like regulated. You can't. So then it has to be a type of a tie-in where a physician actually can appropriately say, on your bottle, I prescribe only one drop a day because that's all you need, not 3 times a day. Or you can smoke it, or anything like that may matter. There's something of discontent about that. There's something about like ended up being a selling of oneself. That's kind of odd. When you see this, you go, you can't even make that up. When you see this, it was like a turning point, walking away, and everything will be fine. It's not always fine. So I feel like also too there was a lack of education when these things. I don't call it a trend. I call it something of a matter of true practitioners who understand the mind, body, soul connect. And when that happened, it stated there was things that you can sit in someone's subconscious for 6 hours. That's what happened out here in Connecticut. When that actually happened, we said you can't do that because you're going to bring them to a regression. Well, unfortunately, you can tell what actually happened. You also have to be very careful with Reiki. You can actually damage vertebrae. So when I look at it and I say, you have to treat your space like a doctor's office and actually keep a record of the people who come in because it ends up being a trend up to the Trendelenburg, up to the hospital for some people. When you release them from certain traumas and energies, then you actually have to know when is it appropriate to release them from pentacle energy, water energy, fire energy, all of that matter. Is it appropriate? Is it safe? Do you actually might need law enforcement? Nobody's actually thought about that. They just went and did it. So when I see it and I go, you know, it is highly discontented to the point of solitude, people working by themselves too much. You couldn't even make it up at all. Now let's look at this one. Light Seers Tarot. There's something about being freed also. You have to be careful with that. That's where misogyny and toxic feminine energy, you can make other people sick. There we go. So again, there's something about like toxic masculinity and not getting together. equal give and take. I got you, you got me. Turbulent in-force coming in to the type of nasty move on to the Two of Wands. Can't see it, can't go it. When you see this, you see the Seven of Swords. It goes on about. When you see this, you see the Two of Swords, Seven of Swords, Two of Swords, where you can't even see. There's something about the railroad that's bothering everyone. What do we need to know about this railroad and holistic? It would cement the deal. When you see this, you go, the Four of Wands goes in and he goes, now we can get together. When you look at this, you go, there's a type of trickery. There's a type of, you know, moving about. There's something about balance. When I look at this, I go, you know, the King of Wands is a type of dishonor, but it is sitting okay to like complete a cycle. I wouldn't call that holistic. When I look at this too, when I see the Knight of Wands, I go, there's something to this. There literally is something to this. All right, let's go to the Oracle. There's Dreamtime and fifth dimensional access. Always be careful. Like they're asking about like not always answering your name if you hear it in the wind. They're like it's just a superstition. It is not. Trust me. Certain areas will literally tell you don't go off the beaten path. Don't go on the path by this time of day or past this time of day. Close your curtains, close your blinds, do all these things. When I see this and I see light technology about health, they're talking about like delta rays, gamma rays, tanning up to tanning bags. I've even said that like maybe you need to go lay in the tanning bag for a session because you need vitamin D. That escalates your vitamin D, helping you get it out. Sitting out in the sun, being out in nature. Even we have talked about how winter sports might actually be healing and healthy, even sitting and watching it. Again, Dreamtime is coming out. There's something about a lock up of the body when I'm seeing Galactic Core. When I see this, you can hear it through on a lockup. When you see this, you see Pakal's tomb. Pakal's tomb is like a ruin, but it's not. It's something about the sun and solidarity. Portals. I want to say this snowfall was at the highest max with a small window of opportunity for a portal. When I see this and I see taking chances, when I see this and I see universal heart, when I see this creativity, when I see this, I see timeline jump. It escalates there and nobody can make sense of it. Again, fifth dimensional access is coming out. It's like there's almost no one who's in the 3D, the 5D, or the Ascension that has not come yet. In order to go through it, you're going to have to go through some physical pain and like readdressing a lot of past life wounds. All right, Literary with historical. What do we need to know for through the week until next week about the holistic community? There's something about bravery in the future. There's like a type of leap of faith, taking chances. There's something of like a team was done. Again, the subconscious comes out, the 3D, the 5D, all of it. I'd have to say, watch for symptoms of PSYOP and MK Ultra. It's out there. There's something about the intellect, there's something about the mind, there's something about divine splendor and craving. There's something about like full known when I see hedgehog. Again, house is like high solidarity. Like they're good. There's also something about healing, conflict resolution, revelations. Like you open it up and you're like, where did you get this information? Because there's something about rebellion. There really wasn't a rebellion. It really was a get it out session. When I see this, you go to the highest point. It really was like a forget me not of like a moving on and you must go. But now we're seeing it's highly agitating. It like it's derogatory. It actually is like traumatic. There was something highly faded that happened. I can't even stress it. Like this week, I said I was going to be highly agitated through all my psychic readings. I could feel it. Illusions, old wounds. When I see this, I go, you can't even make it up about health and toxicity. So when I look at it and I go, there really is something about, these things about humanity and about love, appearances, society, and gender to the great expansion. Where's the trolling coming in? So I feel like that's the forewarning is watch out for the trolling because it will come in hard and fast. So we are at a point where I'm seeing as a psychic for this community who want to make a positive change and merger proper with healthcare and are tired of being made fun of and want to be serious and actually take their job seriously and are clean and sober, that they actually look at this and they say, I'm treating my job like as much as I can in the limits without being dinged for a lack of licensure as a medical professional. That I clean and sanitary in case a disease does come in here one day. That they're on a good start. Like it's taken 2 years to finally dig out on what had happened. There's a working together that must happen. There's something about loss. There's something about wildflowers. There's something about like high toxic masculinity that's nasty to do a on it. I don't see high politics like Washington, D.C. I see like them coming in and visiting. I also see it as females, toxic masculinity. They work alone. There's something about identity when it comes in two through, the number two through. All right, runes. Lastly, when I see this, I go, there's something about water, there's something about minerals, there's something about flow through, everything with the meaning of flow, down to moon cycles or menses. There's something about being alone, type of strength it is. There's something about like getting together, collecting. I'm seeing collections. I'm seeing like the can of collecting, like putting the money in the can. It's really old symbolism. something for like a warrior, but it's not like the boot where you put the money in the boot. When I see this and I see the instinct, when I see like the high defense to the living, to like the heritage culture and estate, there's something about heritage, rabbit, and carrot that means something for the Universal Collective. I do see something with Epstein with it. I do see something that is like a castle, something about him in a castle, something about him in the 1500s. I see him as like a duke. I do see something like Sword in the Stone, but it's not. There's something about being happy where that pond, where that moat was for him, and then it froze, like it froze in time, like a time stands still. When you see this and you go, when I look at this, I go, it's really, really bad. Really bad. There's a type of power. There's like a loss of flour, agriculture. There's something about looking at your cooking flour. Something about the old mealworms. You gotta check for the mealworms. There's something about like they're like dumbfounded like this or something like they left a gift that'll cause havoc. That's why some people are not taken to the trend of sourdough bread. When I look at this and I go, it's strong. When you see this, you go, there's something to this. Wheel of luck. It's an old council, like Sonata Roundtable. That's really all you need to know. So I know that's a little hard information. It is going to be very difficult this week of getting psychic mediumship out. Let's check to see if there's anything in mediumship. That's just the way I am. You just keep showing the number four. The number four. And that's all you need to know. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share is greatly appreciated, and I will talk to you soon.